So the question is very simple now in this case. If you make a public statement, you should be able to defend it publicly. All right, friends, I just want to make some updates video regarding the Dannie Shelton discussion and some other things that are happening. Dannie and I spent a couple minutes, almost an hour, about 57 minutes on the phone, and we were talking about a number of things, ministry, 3ABN, certain things that's happening. And I do have some good news I'm going to share with you in a minute. You want to watch this till the end. But anyway, the updates that I have for you today is number one, Dannie Shelton is coming to Advent Media Connect. The goal is to have him here with us virtually, not in person, virtually on Thursday. So we're thinking Thursday afternoon. We do have the Watchman Report on Thursday morning, every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. And by the way, Pastor Stephen Woolberg is joining us at 12 p.m. Eastern Time this Thursday to talk about his CNN interview that went viral and also get some other counsels from him regarding ministries and different ways that Seventh Adventists can have their presence on mainstream media platforms, and to hear how he goes about getting his stuff out there, which is very crucial. So we are hoping that same Thursday afternoon, after we are done with the Watchman Report, sometime about 5 p.m., my wife and I are going to be hosting Dannie Shelton from 3ABN with his wife, Yvonne Shelton. Friends, this is exciting. So I wanted to put that out there to let you know this is happening. Now, the other thing that I spoke to you about in the last video regarding Dannie Shelton and his willingness to sit down and talk to the president of the Central State Regional Conference, Mr. Cryston Josiah. They put out a statement and he signed that document where he not only condemned Charlie Kirk, but also he went as far as calling 3ABN an amazing fact on this. In private conversation, I won't tell you much. Doug Batchelor, 3ABN, say they will not respond. They don't want to add fuel to the fire, and they are busy with the work of the Lord. So responding to that document is inconsequential from their perspective. Just letting you know. The 3ABN, however, Dannie Shelton is willing to respond. He's willing to have a conversation with Mr. Cryston Josiah, and he has contacted his office on several occasions. They've had time talking on the phone. I can tell you this from the conversation that I'm hearing and the ones that he shared with me. It looks like Mr. Cryston Josiah doesn't really want to have a public discourse about that statement. That's what it looks like to me. And if I'm wrong, I will say Mr. Cryston Josiah should just come forward and talk. The other conversation we had, and one of the things that was also shared, was Mr. Cryston Josiah is willing to have a conversation with other people that agree with him, and Dannie Shelton can come in as a guest. Dannie Shelton felt this is not actually correct because since the statement was said and mentioned 3ABN and called him out, it's only fair that the two of them talk without anybody else. So he wanted to do this on Advent Media Connect because I'm literally going to host it. I will not even ask any questions. I will remove myself from the camera. If they ask me to pull something up, I will simply pull it up, but I will not get involved in their conversation at all. But what Dannie Shelton shared with me is that Cryston Josiah and some of the people who work with him are looking to somewhat bring a whole crew together to have this conversation. I mean, that's just one of the ways to do it, but I don't think it's fair. I think this is a man-to-man talk. Everybody else stay out of it. Let those two men talk and come to a conclusion, and hopefully there can be some forgiveness, and hopefully there can be some peace, and hopefully there can be some reconciliation. It can be done if those two men talks without everybody else. And the conversation is meant to be solely on the statement, understanding, misunderstanding, failure to fact check some things before that was stated. And Danny Shelton felt it's only proper to do that. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you believe it's fair for Danny Shelton and Cryston Josiah to have a conversation? Or do you believe it will be better for Danny Shelton to go with Mr. Cryston Josiah on his platform with several others to have that conversation? Keep in mind, Danny Shelton is being invited to go alone to talk with individuals who may not agree with his position, who already condemn him in a statement that went public. So you tell me which one you choose. As far as I'm concerned, I believe they should talk man to man. I believe this should be a public discussion as well because the statement is already public and he has done some damage to the credibility of 3ABN and the image of Danny Shelton. And if neither of those two can be done, it's only fair to propose another option. Cryston Josiah then should come out with a public apology for that statement. Why? Well, the statement did not represent exactly what Danny Shelton, Amazing Facts, actually believe. In the same statement, Charlie Kirk was called a racist, xenophobic, sexist, white supremacist, Christian nationalist. That's okay if you believe that about Charlie Kirk, but to associate Doug Batchelor and Danny Shelton of 3ABN within the same framework of these words, that was incorrect. Because, number one, there was no evidence provided for these claims. And number two, 3ABN did not put out a single statement concerning Charlie Kirk. Now, even though Danny Shelton was friends of Charlie Kirk, he gave him books, he gave him Bible studies, he was trying to minister to him, and they did meet on the Wisdom Pearl conference to talk about the Sabbath. Yes, that's true. This doesn't automatically mean that he supports his position on everything else. Therefore, a failure to apply Matthew 18, which you're supposed to go to your brother alone and make your claim, and if you cannot win your brother, you take it to the board, and if you cannot work to the board, then you go to the church. So in other words, when Mr. Cryston Josiah put out that statement, he just went to the church. You understand? So he bypassed all the other protocols that we're supposed to follow as Christians before we make the matter public. So it's only fair to say, if Mr. Cryston Josiah will not come and have a conversation with Danny Shelton one-on-one, and Danny Shelton refuses to have a conversation with Mr. Cryston Josiah on their platform because he's going to be outnumbered. A lot of them are going to be preaching to him. He's going to become a he said, she said. That's not always going to be a good thing. So Danny Shelton doesn't want to do that. The third option is only fair as Christians we do the third thing, which is edit the statement and put out a public apology, remove the name of Danny Shelton and 3ABN from those statements so that we can have peace. Now, there is a fourth option now, and we are hoping after multiple conversation of trying to have a conversation publicly with those two men alone. If that doesn't work, on Thursday, we might have to address this subject matter. Now, we haven't decided whether or not this is going to be done on Thursday. It may not be part of the agenda, depending on the kind of response we get within the next couple of days in conversation with Mr. Cryston Josiah. If we do get a response from Mr. Josiah, the president of the Central State Regional Conference, therefore, when me and Danny Shelton sit, we will not respond and talk about the statement. But if we don't get a response, it's only fair that Danny Shelton, he has every right to say, this statement was put out about me. Here is the fact, is how I feel about it. And here are some claims that needs to be addressed. You have to understand, when a president of a conference speak like that, it has ripple effect in the men's ministry, and phone calls came in and things were said, and it brings serious division in ways that did not represent the character of God, neither did it represent the image of the man. That's not how we do things as Christians. Okay, friends, well, these are the updates, and I wanted to let you know what's happening with that. And then I would like to hear from you. Where do you stand when it comes to this? What would you suggest for? What is the best possible solution? Is it fair for the statement to remain as it is? Do you justify that position? Do you think and believe Dannie Shelton is a racist, white supremacist, sexist, xenophobic, as was stated in relation to Charlie Kirk, as the statement was said? Do you support that position, or do you believe that Dannie Shelton should go to their platform with multiple individuals who might be on the side of Josiah's position? Do you think that's fair for Dannie Shelton to do? And again, the truth is the truth. That still is a possible solution. Or do you believe there should be a public apology for the statement because it did not fully represent the character and the ministry of 3ABN, including amazing facts? Do you believe that would only be fair as a Christian that they do that? Or the fourth option is where I am. Let those two men talk. Let them talk it out. Let them figure it out among themselves. Hopefully there can be some peace and forgiveness and reconciliation. This will be a public video and both men can talk with mutual respect and love. I want nothing to do with it. The only thing I'm going to be doing is hosting the matter and let them talk and let everybody else come in the comment and ask questions and thoughts as well. So you let me know, which option would you choose? I would like to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. I gotta get downstairs in the basement. I got some videos to make. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.